Hey there, today I am sharing 32 tips on what not to do when you travel. These are things that I don't want you to do in the airport, what not to do in the airplane, what not to do in a foreign country, what not to pack, all kinds of tips for what not to do when you travel. The number one tip for what not to do when you travel is to not overpack. I have so many travel tip videos and packing method videos, even about toiletries for you to watch. And the number two tip for what not to do when you travel is do not pack an outfit for every day that you are going to be on vacation. Like if you are gone for 7 days, you do not need 7 outfits. Pack tops that can mix and match. The number 3 thing of what not to do when you travel is do not take too big of a personal item. Like I take a travel backpack for underneath the airplane seat, and then I have a carry-on suitcase above my head in the overhead bin. It fits in all major airline bins over my head. But that backpack is very large, and it's like a school size, but it has 2 big pockets and 1 small pocket at the front, and that is fine for me. When you go to your airline's website, they will have luggage requirements, and it'll tell you the size requirements for your personal bag as well. The number 4 tip for what not to do when you travel is do not keep your travel documents put away until it's your turn to talk to the TSA agent. I try to keep my travel documents in that front closest to me pocket of my backpack just while I'm going through security, and then I can put them in a more secure place once I'm done with security. But that way I take out my documents, put them right back in that closest zipped pocket. Be a respectful traveler to the people behind you so that they're not delayed waiting on you. The number 5 tip for what not to do when you travel is do not hold up the security line. Do not wait until the last minute to untie your shoes or to unzip your boots. Have those already untied or unzipped by the time you get up to that conveyor belt. Do not wear a belt until you are through with airport security. I put on my belt when I get through security. I keep it in the outside pocket of my suitcase, and that way when I'm through security, I just pull out the belt and put it on. That's when you can also put on your jewelry for the travel day outfit. Do not hold up the line by waiting until the last minute to take out that liquids bag. Have that liquids bag pocket unzipped so that you can just pull out the liquids bag, put it in the gray bin, and then put your backpack in another gray bin. Do not try to be funny with the TSA agents. Like if you have a knife and they find it and it's small and it is allowed through airport security, don't make a joke like, well, what do you think I'm gonna do? Do this to the pilot? Because you will probably not fly that day or for a while. And you will hold up all the quiet and obedient people behind you in line. Another tip for what not to do when you travel is do not wear lace-up shoes to the airport. It's just so time consuming to tie them when you're done. Do not be in a hurry when you are going through airport security. You have paid good money for this airplane seat ticket. You have paid good money for your vacation. You have planned ahead by watching awesome YouTube videos to prepare in advance and be a responsible traveler and a respectful traveler. You will never see those people again. And I think when people get in a hurry or get flustered, that's when you forget your ID or an important document or your cell phone at the security line. So just take a deep breath and just keep going. Don't get mad at yourself and just have a peaceful vacation before you've even started. When you travel, do not be rude to the gate agents. They are only the messenger. And I know it is so frustrating when the gate agent says for the 4th time, I'm sorry, folks, your flight is still delayed and we have no idea when it will be resuming or if it will even be canceled after you've stayed at the airport all day. There are so many different lines of communication that get broken before it gets to the gate agent. So they don't know sometimes, really. They do not know anything. It might be the parent company's fault. It might be ramp people's fault. It might be some weird reason that we don't know about, but don't be rude to the messenger. My husband was in Washington Dulles Airport, and one of his gate agents had just an awful weather day, and this rude customer said to him, I hope your mother dies. Well, she had just died like a week and a half before that day. It was just completely immature and irresponsible for something to say, even though you were so angry. But anyway, don't be rude to them. Also, when you get on the airplane, don't expect the flight attendants to put your suitcase or your bag up in the bin over your head. I see a lot of people do this to flight attendants. They say, I can't pick my bag up and put it in that bin. You're not asking them to do anything. You're just complaining. So politely use common courtesy and ask the flight attendant right when you get on, could you call a flight attendant to help me put my suitcase in the overhead bin? And then when you're waiting for that flight attendant back at your seat, if you see a man standing nearby, ask him for help. Would you mind helping me put my bag in the overhead bin? And most of the time they will. Also, do not wear tight clothing. Pay attention to the button or your waistband of your pants that you're going to be wearing on the airplane, because if they poke in too much when you're sitting, it's going to be really uncomfortable and hurt your stomach. Also, pay attention to how tight or fitted your trousers are around your calves, your pants, or your jeans that you're wearing. If your jeans are too constricting around your calves, you can have major blood clots, which will cause a lot of harm to you in flight. So I recommend Zella compression leggings, compression socks. There are some really, really cute ones out there. And then also what we have is a compression sleeve, and this goes just around your calf, and they are footless. So if you are worried about fashion or your capris showing your compression socks, try out these. I will link some below on Amazon. And Zella leggings, they are all compression leggings. I use the high waisted ones to help me suck in all that Indian food and croissants that I'm gonna eat when I'm in Europe. But I use the high-waisted ones, and they are considered compression. They don't say compression leggings, but they are considered compression, and they are good. Oh, it feels so good. My feet, my calves, nothing swells on a flight. And I've had some really bad problems with my calves swelling during flights, even just a 2-hour flight. When you travel, do not keep ringing the flight attendant call button. They are not waitresses. They are there for our safety. The free drinks and food that we buy, that is only bonus. Learn from me, and do not forget to take Tylenol on your flight. If you have a fever, it helps stave off the symptoms of it, and also it can help you get through that flight home so that you can just make it to your car and then make it to your house. When you travel, do not expect that you are going to be able to sit with your family, even though you have chosen the seats together. It's kind of like that Jerry Seinfeld episode where he rents a car, and when he gets there, they're all out of cars, even though he's already paid and rented it and reserved it. What I recommend is the day before, you can always check in for your flight 24 hours prior. Check in and see if those seat assignments are near each other or beside each other. Then the next day when you get to the airport, if that's when you're checking in, see if the seats are beside each other. If you're not assigned seats, that means when you get to your gate, the gate agent is going to call you up and tell you, here's your pass to get onto the airplane, and your tickets or your seats might not be together. Ask the gate agent, but don't expect her to solve the problem. They will most likely, especially if it's a full flight, they'll most likely get a flight attendant to help you. And honestly, flight attendants have more of the power on the airplane to say, excuse me, sir, do you mind moving up to this seat? And they can even sweeten the deal for that person who needs to move to give them a closer seat up front, In your carry-on suitcase, do not put containers that are larger than 3.4 ounces or 100 milliliters. Some people have brought a shampoo bottle, like a regular size shampoo bottle, but there were only a few drops of shampoo in it, and were so angry when it got confiscated. But the container has to be 3.4 ounces or less. When you travel, do not forget to sign up for the State Department's STEP program, and that is a emergency civil unrest notification kind of program that they can notify you on your phone, or they can find you if there is a family emergency. That's the best reason, but they can give you updates of national emergencies if needed. If you have not seen my 9 travel safety tips, be sure to click on the iCard or down below. Do not talk loudly on the bus from the park and ride to the airport, or in the quiet boarding area in the airport. It's really a pet peeve of mine, but honestly, I think it makes you look uneducated and slow with technology, and pickpocketers are looking for that kind of person. So talk a little more quietly. Another tip for when you travel is going to help you save space in your suitcase or your carry-on backpack or travel bag. Do not pack those bulky headphones anymore. There are lots of bulb type headphones, and some over-the-ear headphones that I really like that are more secure than the little bulb ones. Do not take a Tupperware of tuna salad. One, it smells like crazy on the plane, but it is one of the easiest meals to take when you're going on the airplane. And I've done it, and I will probably do it again. But remember that you're going to have that Tupperware with you your entire flight. But honestly, if you throw it away, I'm sure it's going to end up in your kitchen cabinets a couple of months, or at least the lid will. Another tip when you travel in the airport is to move to the side of the terminal if you need to ruffle through your bag to find out where your next gate is. If you need to look at your phone for something, don't just stop in the middle of the terminal. Those terminals are really narrow and we need to keep the traffic moving. Do not forget to take a water bottle or an aluminum mug. There are a lot of really nice water fountains now that your bottle can actually fit all the way under in airports now. And the water does not taste like a pipe that has not had water in it in 5 days anymore like they used to. There was an article, and I don't know if y'all have seen it. I think it was on Facebook or something that said, flight attendants do not like it when you order a Diet Coke. Basically, it was saying that the sodas take a long time to dissipate, like the bubbles take a long time to dissipate, and so flight attendants don't like it. But I don't know if that's true or not. Most everybody orders a soda or something bubbly. I'll link the article below though so you can see it. Don't let the airline's booking system book you on a tight connecting flight. A lot of airline websites will say, ooh, there's a connecting flight to Philadelphia that leaves an hour after you land in DC. Don't trust it. It's trying to be efficient, but there are so many out of control reasons for delays these days, like weather in like Africa that can affect the flight departure time in Dulles or DC. For domestic flights, do not let there be a connecting flight within an hour at least. 2 hours would be much better. And for international flights, we recommend not having a connection less than 5 hours. When we lived near DC, we always tried to get on the Phoenix flight that left at 5:35 in the afternoon. Well, there was a flight from Frankfurt, Germany that landed at 4, and there were so many times that we would see people an hour and a half later who would not even make the flight at 5:30, which meant we as standbys now had an empty seat, but a lot of times we would see them running, and an hour and a half is definitely not enough time for a connecting flight internationally. By the way, my name is Laurie. Thank you for visiting my Travel Tips by Laurie YouTube channel. I give tips and hacks for all those travel mistakes that I've already made that I can help you with. My husband is a pilot here in Houston, and we've been traveling this world for about 17 years. If you haven't already, leave me a comment below and introduce yourself and let me know where you're going next. Another tip for what not to do when you travel is do not pack liquids in other areas of your travel carry-on bags. Like you have your liquids bag and you might put some liquids like in your carry-on suitcase. All liquids have to go in that quart-sized liquids bag and be pulled out in airport security if you're taking it onto your person in the airplane. Do not feel bad if you have to go to the bathroom and the person beside you is like dead deeply asleep and sleeping. Just tap them on the shoulder and scooch by. They know to expect it and you'll never see that person again. And do not throw everything in your suitcase last minute. Pick a packing method. Fold them, roll them, use packing cubes, use the KonMari method that's all trendy now. Choose a method and just try it. This tip for what not to do when you travel is kind of a pet peeve. Do not stand at the conveyor belt in security to put all of your belongings back in their place or put all of your clothes back on. Take your stuff and the gray bin, like walk it over to the bench that's outside of security, right outside of security. Put the gray bin down there and put everything back on, get settled, take your time, be organized so that nothing is lost, and don't hold up the people behind you in the security line. This is a good one. Do not forget to sign up for the police house check program that most counties in America have. Just Google like James County police house check, and you can sign up for the days you're going to be on vacation, and a policeman will walk around your house sometimes, and they will do a drive-by to make sure anything is not out of place, or see if anything is suspicious. And they won't tell you the specific days or times that they're going to do it, but it's a great peace of mind tip. When you travel internationally, there are some things that some wonderful YouTubers have told me of what not to do when you travel there. The main reason is so that you don't stick out for pickpocketers. Two of the YouTubers are Love and London. I will link some of her videos below or in an iCard if I remember to do that. And Walter's World, or Volter's World, but with a W. They are very helpful, and they have some really good tips for traveling internationally. The first thing is to not wear white tennis shoes. And the main reason is for pickpocketers, okay? But we as Americans want support in our shoes. And I am used to wearing tennis shoes. So the way that I compromise is by using gray tennis shoes. And I am taking these to when we go to Europe this spring. These are Mizuno. They are running shoes, but they're brand new. They're very comfortable. Anyway, I am going to take some other shoes that are less American looking, some boots or something like that. In most of Europe, they do not wear graphic tees like we do. They do not have their college university wording on their shirts. And we are Americans. We're not trying to fit in because we do not belong in that culture, but we're trying to be less conspicuous to those evil people out there. And do not put all of your money in one wallet. Like, spread the goods, spread the wealth. Put it in different places, hide it in your hotel room. I have some really, really smart hacks for hiding money and where to store it. Like, one is in between the Kleenexes of a little Kleenex packet. So that's so smart. And there's another brilliant one in there if you watch that video. Okay, you're set. You're going to be a respectful, responsible traveler now that you've watched these 32 things, what not to do when you travel. Thank you for stopping by, and have a wonderful, wonderful trip in the airport, out of the airport, in the airplane, and on your vacation.